Daddy versus doctor, where the doctor becomes the daddy becomes the doctor. So I'm going to pose you questions, find out what you would do. All right. Well, this is something that probably happens in your house. Your toddler trips and hits his head on the coffee table, immediately forming an egg-sized bump on the forehead. What you going to do?
Ice
I like
compression.
That's it. Ice and compression.
Yeah.
Some pain medicine, ibuprofen, decrease the swelling. You worried? You going to the hospital? What are you doing?
I don't do the hospital. I worry about concussion. I worry about sleeping shortly after that.
Yeah.
I think I would go in and check the child 2 hours, 3 hours into sleep.
Yeah. So parents don't ever want their child to go to sleep right after. And
is that a myth?
Worry about concussions. No, it's not a myth. It's actually what we do when we're worried about something intracranial in the brain. We do what's called neurocheck. So we go in and we check on the child every hour, every 2 hours. So it's actually very similar. In general, head trauma in kids is very common. Thankfully, it's usually not serious. And your red flags are basically a couple things: loss of consciousness, obviously, vomiting. Now, a lot of kids will throw up right after the event because they're crying or they're really worked up. So you get sort of a freebie. If there's something really going on, what we're talking about is bleeding in the brain. So that pressure causes vomiting. The vomiting is going to continue. So it's vomiting or change in demeanor. And that can be really sleepy. But then again, a lot of kids fell because it was around nap time or bedtime. They're already tired. So we say, let them go to sleep normally after. If it's a nap, wake them up. If they're going longer than usual, go jostle them, make sure they're arousable. If it's bedtime, let them go to sleep. And maybe a couple hours later before you go to sleep, go wake them up. They don't have to get up and walk around. You just want to make sure they're arousable. And then in general, like bumps on the forehead tend not to bother me. The forehead's like one of the strongest bones in the body, but they grow. Remember the old cartoons where it would grow and they take the little hammer and pop it back in, and they'll change color, blue, green, yellow, last for days. So the forehead's not a problem. If it's on the side or the back, if it's soft and mushy, that would obviously be concerning. And then most kids thankfully fall from a standing position. So it's not a forceful fall. It's not a long distance. Typically it takes a fall from over 3 feet. So that's like, you're falling off a changing table, you're falling off a table onto something, or something with speed, right? You're on your bicycle, you're falling off that. So when kids are walking and sort of fall into something, that tends to be less concerning just because the mechanism is less concerning. But you're right. Ice, ibuprofen, watch them. See, Dr. Sebastian. Ooh, your child aspirates, inhales a small toy or coin, and they're choking severely and they're unable to breathe.
Heimlich?
Yeah. I mean, this is a 911 if they're really choking.
If you're choking, how long you got left? How long
actually, if you're choking, that's your body trying to get it up. Actually, you try to let them. It's when they're silent, that's when it's scary, because then you gotta get it out. So you want to try to do the Heimlich, or if they're a smaller baby, you put them on their arm, you lean them forward, and you back blow like this. Everybody should take a CPR and a choking class for all age groups. As a parent, that's probably the most important thing.
First thing is choking, you're supposed to go in and try and wipe it out?
No, because you can actually push it further.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's what I think CPR told us. Go in, see if you can get it out with your finger.
No.
Nope. Okay.
The swallowing of foreign objects, I think we've talked about this. There's really only two. So if you swallow, like kids say they ate something off the floor, and there's only two things that are worrisome. If they swallow it and they're not having problems breathing and it gets in their stomach, if it gets in their stomach, usually they're going to poop it out. What things? What things you have to go to the emergency room? Magnets, yes, because multiple magnets can cause the intestine to twist.
Yeah.
And what's the other one?
Man, we're going over this. Magnets.
It's a good test for you.
And
button batteries, because they can dissolve. The acid dissolves them. So those you have to go in and get those out. Anything else, pretty much. I mean, kids have swallowed quarters, $50, crazy. If it gets down, it gets down. And then we talked about the X-ray. On an X-ray, how do you tell if it's in the esophagus, right? The GI tube, or the windpipe, the air pipe, trachea.
How do you tell?
Yeah. Like if I swallow a quarter, how do you know where it is on the X-ray? If it's in my neck, it shows up on the X-ray in my neck. How do you know which two? Because they overlap. The esophagus and the trachea are on top of each other. So the esophagus is smooth muscle. So it will lay, when you look at the x-ray, you'll see the whole face of the coin. But the trachea is cartilaginous rings. So imagine you drop a coin there, it will line up. You only see it on edge. So that's how you know what tube it's in. See, it's cool. Cool stuff.
The opinions expressed in this program are not intended as professional medical advice, as a diagnosis, as a treatment protocol, or as a substitute for professional medical advice from your physician. Please consider your own medical history and consult with your own physician for your specific healthcare and/or medical needs and about your concerns for yourself and your family.